What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about Dave Filoni. I'm a huge Dave Filoni fan, and there is apparently this video that is very damning from Dave Filoni that we have to discuss. Now, one thing I'll say is recently it just seems like there's this obsession with trying to find something on Dave Filoni to make him seem like, Kathleen Kennedy's do-boy or something like that. And I don't really understand it. And I don't care what type of opinions these people have, as long as the product that they produce is good. And Dave Filoni just gave us the series finale of the Clone Wars, and it's some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen. So I don't care what he has to say. His words are irrelevant. His actions are relevant. And the finale of the Clone Wars was absolutely beautiful and awesome in every way. Now, did I like the entire season? No, I did have a problem with that 4-episode arc with the sisters that I said were SJW looking, and I still have a problem with that. I think it was trash, and I think it was unnecessary, and it ruined Ahsoka's return. But overall, when you look at the whole body of work with Dave Filoni from the Clone Wars all the way through with Rebels, and then you add in The Mandalorian, and then you get the Clone Wars finale, Dave Filoni has given us absolutely awesome Star Wars. I don't love Rebels, but I liked Rebels, and there are parts of Rebels that I loved. But yeah, Rebels was kind of like hit or miss, and a lot of filler episodes, and some of the characters were boring. But again, it wasn't offensively bad. It wasn't like the sequel trilogy. So overall, I don't care what Dave Filoni's words and his opinions are. I care about the product he produces. If I was worried about every single person in Hollywood and their private or their opinions on politics, I would literally not be able to watch anything in Hollywood. With that said, we're going to react to this because people want me to react to it. Now, I think this video is like from 2015 or 2016. And again, I don't really like this whole method of let's go back years and years and years ago and find something when we have other things that are more recent to judge someone on. You can do that to me. These weirdos that hate me are still doing this. They're finding videos from before The Last Jedi, which everything fundamentally changed for me. They find these videos where I'm bitching about Star Wars fans because you know what? Yes, during the prequel debates, I had very strong opinions about people that hated the prequels. Very strong opinions. And I was vocal about it. Fine, but that was before The Last Jedi. That was before everything changed with Star Wars fans. So I don't like the attitude of let's go back and find a video out of context and ignore more recent things. And that's what's being done to Dave Filoni right now. Bottom line, did you watch the Clone Wars finale? It was fucking awesome. That's all I care about. Not some bullshit news conference where he's kissing people's ass. With that said, let's check it out. Here we are over on Disney Star Wars is Dumb. Look, I love Ichibaka. Love Ichibaka. There are months and months worth of content on this channel I would not have if it wasn't for Ichibaka. So I want to make that clear because unlike SJWs, we can disagree and not hate each other and want to cancel each other. So Ichibaka is the reason I'm aware of this story. So let's check it out. Dave Filoni mocked critics of Lucasfilm's Mary Sue trope. Dave Filoni speaks at the National Center for Women and Information Technology. My favorite part is when Filoni fabricates an argument with a fan so that he can argue with points that fans never made in an effort to prove a political point that doesn't exist. It's a very common SJW habit, and it's always hilarious. Itchy is 100% spot on with that point. SJW, I haven't heard the video from Filoni, but we'll listen to it. But SJWs always invent this scenario of, yeah, I was talking to a fan, and they had all of these, and they invent all this bullshit that no fan ever says, just so they can push home their point. Itchy is 100% spot on with that one. Love it. Then he goes on to say about Ahsoka with the SJW Swarm. When we found this amazing thing, it will shock none of you that when you create a strong, independent, intelligent character that shows no fear, that can do amazing things, boys and girls like her. This is what we're trying to do with the Star Wars saga. Okay. I don't understand what the problem is there. Let me reread that. That when you create a strong, independent, intelligent character that shows no fear, that can do amazing things, boys and girls like her. This is what we're trying to do with Star Wars Saga. I don't know what the problem is there. He didn't say a strong, independent female character. And he didn't say that girls will like her. He included boys and girls. He blatantly said there's two genders. And he didn't isolate saying it's a strong female character. Literally, this is what we want with Star Wars, is it not? Is this not what we're looking for as fans? When you create a strong, independent, intelligent character that shows no fear, that can do amazing things, boys and girls like her. That is not the Kathleen Kennedy template. The Kathleen Kennedy template is that girls can't identify with Luke Skywalker. We have to create strong female characters to appeal to women. That's polar opposite of what Kathleen Kennedy says. He then goes on to mock critics of Lucasfilm's Mary Sue trope by mischaracterizing their criticisms as being against women. The typical disingenuous SJW argument. That is true. So we'll listen to it. So let's listen to the video now. And I will let you know what I think.
Even ever have in canon the idea.
Now, again, this is, I think this is from like 2016. And again, I just don't, like, if this would have been last week, okay. But we've seen the Clone Wars. We've seen the final season of the Clone Wars, and it's awesome. Who gives a fuck what he said in 2016? I don't understand this argument. This is kind of SJW tactics, to be honest with you, to find an argument from 4 years ago when we have clear evidence, recent evidence that the man is still giving us good Star Wars. I really don't understand this argument, but let's listen to the video.
Idea that he had an apprentice, let alone that it would be a girl. I didn't care. I thought that's a great idea because I didn't want to just make Luke Skywalker again. I wanted a character that had different challenges and could have a different story than Luke.
Okay, so he's talking about Ahsoka, the creation of Ahsoka, and not wanting to recreate Luke. One of the big arguments is that Rey is a Luke clone, like she's a rehash of Luke Skywalker and a rehash of A New Hope. He is saying that I created Ahsoka by not wanting to create another version of Luke. Ahsoka is her own character. I don't see what the problem is here.
But, you know, and for George it wasn't. I mean, obviously it was his idea. For fans, this was a very different idea. The general public as a whole are going to look at that and say, why? And we just created this character. And there was this funny assumption by a lot of people, you know, because the older fans, they're complaining, why is this? You're making it for kids. That's the funniest thing anybody ever says to me. You're making Star Wars for kids. I'm like, yeah. Okay. How old were you when you saw Star Wars? And they're, oh, the first time I saw Star Wars, I was 7 years old, and my dad took me, and I'm like, uh-huh. And you want to rob this experience from kids today, why? And make it all dark and sinister and evil? Okay. Anyway, back to...
Well, I feel like that's an argument from the left wing that's always saying that it's a Space Wizard movie for kids. And then they also want to add sexual bullshit into it and political narratives. So I don't know what his point is there.
Ahsoka. There's this assumption that young girls are going to like the character of Ahsoka. We relate that, right? Apples to apples. Of course, we make a young girl character, so all the young girls will like Ahsoka. It's almost to say, like, but what about the boys? You know, this absurd notion. So what we found was this amazing thing. It will shock none of you. That when you create a strong, independent, intelligent character that shows no fear, that can do amazing things, boys and girls like her.
I don't know what is the problem with that statement? Can someone explain to me what the problem with that statement is? Like, again, it seems like this insane reach to demonize Filoni for things that other people have done is out there. Again, I don't get it. We've seen this man's body of work. And while you can agree or disagree that it might be, like, I think it's great, and you might not think it's great, and that's perfectly fine. But it's not driven by politics. That is the point. Look at his entire body of work. None of it is driven by identity politics. So your opinion, whether it's good or bad, I don't care. Now, if you want to tell me he's pushing identity politics, I need to see some evidence of that because I kind of specialize in that, and I don't see that. Now, again, if you want to bring in the stupid sisters garbage from the last season of Clone Wars, okay, but again, they weren't necessarily SJW characters either. They had the look, and they were irrelevant, but they were not identity politics specific characters. Again, I don't know what the problem is with that comment. That comment is exactly what we want from Star Wars. He didn't base the character in gender, and he didn't base the audience in gender. I don't know what the problem is.
This is what we tried to do with the Star Wars saga now. We've tried to create more female characters can represent so many things, because what we're trying to do
Now he's
isn't just
pandering.
create one type of character. We're trying to create a diverse range of characters, especially female characters that are strong, that are independent. When you look at Rey,
So, Dave, can you tell me of any female characters that aren't strong and independent? Can you give me an example of a, and again, look, he's at a fucking women's National Center for Women's bullshit conference, and he's pandering. Okay, that's fine. But the point is does this affect his work? No, so I don't really care, but I am going to critique his stupid fucking argument about
Strong, independent female characters. Strong, independent female characters.
fuck off, Dave Filoni.
on The Force Awakens, she's a female lead in a whole new chapter of the Star Wars saga. We haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. And what is it? Is it Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out.
Okay, Dave, the movie made $2 billion, the highest grossing Star Wars film of all time. So, no, there wasn't Panic in the Streets. You were looking at record-breaking numbers. So, while it obviously was a problem once we started to see it crumble with the fact that, yes, Rey was 100% an identity politics-driven character, at the time, it just worked. People were excited for Star Wars and they accepted it. And they accepted the storytelling, present party included. But again, he's at a fucking woman's conference. Dude, please invite me to come speak at some woman's conference. And I'm going to go, women, we need to rise up. Women, we need to rise up. I am here. I'll act like I'm an advocate for them. And I'll be like, women, we need to stand together. I come to you with a very important problem that we are all facing. Income inequality. I really want to talk to you about this problem. And they're going to be like, yes, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy. So brave and stunning. And I'm going to be like, in the adult film industry, there is a huge discrepancy in how much money women stars make versus men. They will all get mad. Invite me. Please invite me. I would love that.
It's another female lead. Oh my gosh. How unfair. We've had probably like 2 million straight film cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we've done 2 in a row that are women. Well, too bad. Oh well.
In other words, show me your tits, Dave Filoni. That's what he's saying to all those women. I want to have sex with someone here tonight, so I'm going to pretend that
I care about the female empowerment moving forward.
Well, maybe there are more coming. I don't know. This is this idea that, like, and I run into this sometimes when working with writers. It's like, well, we just made one of those. Made one of what? We just made a female lead. We can make another one. Really? Yes, we can. There's more than one woman in the world. There's more than one woman here in the world. Why is that so strange? If we made like 5 men heroes in a row, no one would blink. You know, Rey, she impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren. She punks him right away. Like, he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people.
Are you using powerful men to make a point for Rey now? Like, she impressed the strong man. That's bad.
I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm going to take you out. And she did. And I'm all for it. And she looks strong. It's not that she doesn't show any fear. She looks like this is an intense moment in her life. And we're there with her because of that. Because she's a real feeling dimensional person. That's what we want. A real feeling dimensional person. We are trying to create an environment where it's my hope that kind of just like Luke, all he did was open that door, right? He just opened that door, let Leia out, and she's went gangbusters. So I just want to be a part at Lucasfilm of opening this door to a new generation of filmmakers, of women that come into Lucasfilm and can be creative. It's a strong future for Star Wars. Our force for women characters, strong women characters, intelligent women characters, characters of all description. It won't just stop with 2 movies. It's something we're dedicated to for the foreseeable future, because they're just great characters. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. this isn't that big of a deal to me. I don't know. Again, there's this anti-Filoni movement out there, and look, this, again, if I'm not mistaken, because I did just try to figure out when this conference happened. I think this happened in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really understand what the point of this is. At the end of the day, are you looking for creative people to give you your opinions back? Or are you looking for creative people to give you a good product? I don't really care what these people think. I think in private, Dave Filoni is a soy boy, and I think that he is all about this bullshit, just like 95% or probably 98% of everyone in Hollywood. But I don't care what they think. I care what type of product they're going to give me. And if you give me a good product, then I ultimately don't care. Now, if your on the screen product represents your personal politics, I will have a problem with that constantly. But ultimately, Dave Filoni has given us great Star Wars, recently given us one of the best moments ever in the Clone Wars finale, the series finale. So going back to some kind of conference years and years ago where he's pandering to a bunch of stupid women and a stupid women's technology or National Center for Women information technology, I don't care. Like, I just care about the product he's given me. So ultimately, if this bothers you, it bothers you. It doesn't bother me. And the quote that was kind of called out where he didn't specify a gender on a character and he didn't specify an audience with a gender, I kind of feel like that's supposed to be what we're looking for here as Star Wars fans. That's exactly what we've been asking for, so I don't know why that's a problem. I think it's a problem because it came from Dave Filoni, and there's a lot of people that just want to believe that he's this, that, or the other. And maybe he is in private, but until I start seeing blatant evidence of that on screen, I don't care. I've seen the Clone Wars, I've seen Rebels, and I've seen The Mandalorian, and they all are good. They don't have identity politics in them, and I enjoy them. So, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, geeksandgamers.com. The new website is here, and I want you to go check it out. We've worked really hard. A lot of time, money, and effort, passion has gone into this project. And we have profiles now. We have a forum. We have a premium membership that you can join. You can create a profile. You can have your own personal blog on the profile. You can join our premium membership where I don't have to worry about being silenced by these companies. I used to have a Patreon for Geeks and Gamers, and I got rid of it when they banned Sargon because I hated that business practice and I wasn't going to be part of that. So now we've created our own version of Patreon here on geeksandgamers.com. So your support will be, it's going to be very crucial moving forward for us, and this is the future. We're still having to work on a few issues on the website. So if you do go over there, if you see any issues right there, that report issue has been implemented, so you can report issues directly to our webmasters and we can have it addressed. $10 to join the premium subscription. That's a minimum. We do have it where you can add any dollar amount you want to support the site. I did not crowdfund the site. All of the money came right out of my pocket. It was expensive, and it is costing me every day to run this site, but I want to create a place where people can come and have their opinions regardless. Look, me and Ichibaka and a lot of other fans that support this channel don't agree on this Dave Filoni thing, and that's the beauty of us. We're not SJWs. We don't have to have our echo chamber. They have their view, I have mine. Ultimately, we'll see how it all plays out moving forward, but that's what I want Geeks and Gamers to be. We can also have gifting subscriptions, so if you click that box, and then you enter someone's email address. We're working on adding the option to where it can be their username, but we don't have that implemented yet. But very proud of the site, very proud of my team. I appreciate the support. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog. And we will talk to you later.